Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what is considered cute when done by a kid but illegal when done by an adult? Sit on people's laps. Demand to be picked up. I don't know. Had a tiny girlfriend once. She was always on my lap. Though she hated being picked up, people seemed to think it was okay just because she was little. Relieved it's not just me. Why do people do this? I weigh 100 pounds and most people can lift me. I'm a grown-up, damn it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. My mom always loved to tell how when I was first being potty trained, when I had to go number 2, I would pull my pants down in the living room before trotting to use the toilet, pants around ankles. Something tells me it wouldn't go over as well now. I did that once at preschool. Stopped at the bathroom door to drop my pants before going inside to use it. Don't think my classmates noticed, but a teacher did and told me not to do that. I wasn't embarrassed by it either. But I do remember thinking at that moment that just maybe this isn't quite how it's supposed to go, but I'm gonna do it anyway because convenience. Same thing happens here. The bathroom was connecting 2 classes and I was in the hall. The teacher saw and said, "We don't do that here," to which I replied, "I do it at home so I do it here." My 2-year-old daughter smacked a random lady's booty at the grocery store because she sees me do that to her mom at home. It was funny, but if she was 16 years older that might be sexual assault. My son did that to a waiter when he was about 18 months. The waiter was not amused. I wanted to crawl into a hole. The waiter will remember that. Haha, that waiter needs to get over himself. I'm a waiter and I would find the funny in that situation. There's an 8-year gap between my next sibling and me, plus no cousins close to my age either, so I was everyone's favorite to teach. Some of it was to go hit the other sibling or cousin because they couldn't react to me without getting in trouble. Other lessons I learned was grabbing butts. In the grocery store with my mom, I wandered over to a bent over lady and grabbed her butt. She spun around ready to punch someone, but there was no one there to punch until she looked down, saw me, and died laughing when she saw a 4-year-old. My mom was horrified. 11 years later I was horrified when my junior high science teacher asked me if I still grabbed lady butts while they are shopping for vegetables. Turns out she remembered me, which isn't all that shocking considering my hometown is 3,000 people and I was one of 3 mixed children that lived there. This is hilarious. I also live in a similar sort of town. I remember another occasion I took my nephew to a Walmart and he was 3 to 4 years old, just chilling in the shopping cart. We walked into some random aisle of the store and he noticed a family looking at some things on the shelf. He pointed at the family and said, "Them are black people." Immediately I apologized awkwardly and walked away and tried to teach my young nephew how that was an odd and inappropriate thing to say, lol. I remember when I first moved to my new house, one of my neighbors, who had autism, somehow broke into my house and started looking around. The next day he apologized and said to me he looked cute doing it as a kid, but now he is 17, it's just scary. Edit: I forgot to say that his dad was the one who apologized. Oops. My ex had a family friend in a similar situation. Their son was in his 2020s but, mentally, around that of a 4-year-old. He had a hard time understanding boundaries and that people don't like their bodies being touched. Speak for yourself, buddy. My sister used to go to Special Olympics for equestrian stuff with this place that taught special needs kids horse riding. One of the parents abandoned me, without asking, with their very special needs daughter, who was 23. But looked 14 and acted 8. Nothing quite as terrifying as being an adult male with a child that looks underage holding your hand, trying to kiss you and touching you all over because she just doesn't understand she can't do that stuff with complete strangers. Edit: she did technically ask me to watch her. It's been a while, I just remembered, but it was more like, "Hey, watch her for me, K, thanks, bye," and she dipped around the corner before I could tell her I was not comfortable doing that. My 3-year-old ran up to a large man with a shirt too small for his body at a barbecue joint in Chicago and gave him a big hug. He thought it was cute and he walked away. When I asked her why she hugged him, she told me so I could lick him. She licked the man's underbelly. Imagine the man's utter confusion when he walks away and feels a cold patch on his underbelly. Feeling refreshed. Taking shortcuts through PPLS yards. Those were the days. I did this the other day. It cut almost a half-mile off my trip, but as I was being nice and going around the flower beds, the guy came out and started yelling at me. I just rolled up my windows and turned up the music. Edit, wow, thanks for the gold. I know what you're getting at, but I just picture you carrying a car door in one arm and a boombox in the other, and it's just as good. My friends and I did this to get to the next street, like it was our own property. Shit, I thought we were the only ones who hopped backyards. We called it missions though. Did you ever meet fellow backyard jumpers while jumping backyards? Though when I look back, I think that it was really stupid. If kids hopped my backyard, I'd yell at them, watch out for the raccoons and skunks. They're gonna get you. Calling 911 to get a Happy Meal. Or due to a lost teddy bear. This is the cutest response so far. I love it. As Ray Romano said, when your kid discovers he can get an erection for the first time and runs out of the bathtub going pee pee big. Pee pee big. It is cute and all. When grandpa does it, it is sad and disturbing. But grandpa has more reason to be happy. Gramps used Harden. It was very effective. For now. So if two grandpas battle, does it never end? When I was 5 or so, I went to a baseball game with my dad and he wouldn't let me get popcorn. I really wanted popcorn. I walked away and sat on a random man's lap plus started eating his popcorn. I closed my eyes and pretended like I thought it was my father, like, oh dad, you got popcorn, thanks, because my child mind thought my dad would believe I thought it was him and wouldn't get mad. I don't think that would be very cute as a 21-year-old. Best thing I've read all day. My friend, when he was just crawling apparently, was at a beach with his mum. She looked away for a second and he'd crawled over to a nearby topless sunbather sleeping on her back and tried to suckle on her. Obviously she screamed and it didn't get far, but after much embarrassment they did all laugh it off. As an adult, that's probably prison time. Even as a literal baby it could have been much worse depending on the woman's response. At that age, a topless beach probably looks like a buffet. Frankly, at my age, a topless beach still looks like a buffet. Slightly different connotation though. Gee, this reminded me of the woman who was suing a kid for sexual harassment. Betcha that fell through. Playing doctor. Frank Abegali has entered the chat. Do you concur? Running around in public naked. My 3-year-old was being potty trained at the time and I took him to McDonald's after his vaccinations to cheer him up. He had a great time until he announced to me that he wet himself. So I go to my bag to get a change of trousers and pants to hear people laughing and I look up from my bag. He dropped his trousers and pants to the floor and was shuffling to the bathroom door with them around his ankles with a big grin on his face. Just his little butt exposed. I couldn't even be embarrassed, it was too funny. That's adorable. Now imagine that with a 30-year-old and it's a completely different feel. Sucking on your mom's boobies. But you can suck your wife's boobs when she's a mom as a sort of loophole. That sweet, sweet breast milk. Yes, officer, this post right here. Bitty. You cultured person. Being attracted to other kids. That's illegal as an adult. Looks like Uncle Murray has some explaining to do. No, I distinctly remember Uncle Murray saying if he's 7, then I'm 7, so he doesn't count. A baby can drink a bottle and fall asleep and it's cute. When I drink a bottle and go to sleep I got problems. When they ask a question and follow it by saying say no, or when they wait outside your bathroom door asking details of what you're doing in there, like do you have a penis or 2 butts. My son asks a question by saying daddy, I think you'll say no to this, but underscore. That's cute. When a kid draws on the wall, sometimes people will think it's cute and creative. When an adult draws on the wall, it's called vandalism. Unless they have been commissioned, then they are an artist, and the drawing is now very important for some reason. And then you get paid in publicity and then hate your life. Whipping down your pants and having a pee anywhere you like. I love hearing the phrase having a pee. I wish people said it where I am from. In general, British English uses more have a word phrases, while American English uses take a word phrases. Like have a bath versus take a bath. Make fetch happen. Saying they want to marry their mom or dad. Yikes. My nephew, who is 5, was having a sleepover with my son, who is 4. We were eating dinner and somehow the subject of husband and wife came up, and my nephew asked who my husband was. I am not married, so I explained that I didn't have one. He nonchalantly said, well, that's okay. 'Cause you will just marry your dad. He can be your husband. Nope, buddy. That's not how it works. Being completely honest with people. Edit, wow, my comment went big and thank you for the silver kind stranger, it's my first time. I envy my kid for this. One day we were going on vacation to visit family. At the airport someone asked him what he was going to do, where we were going. He had a little bit of a confused look for half a second and then, very matter-of-factly said whatever I want. In a tone like the person asked a stupid question. I think about that every day. He also pointed to a group of seniors off the bus from the nursing home in a field trip to some Blue Plate special restaurant and proclaimed, Dad, look at all those almost dead people. My God, that last one killed me. This deserves more upvotes. Though it's not illegal. Okay, I'm 4y/oh boy and I went into the ladies' bathroom. I'm 40 and I went into the ladies' bathroom. I was being honest. That was a joke, I'm underage, also female.